Thank you for joining us on Running the Table. I'm Rob Giampapa here at Annandale High School with head football coach Mike Scott. Coach, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, Rob? Good to see you.
Terrific. Good to see you. Well, let's talk a little bit about it. You got a younger team coming back this year?
We do. We lost 11 guys starters on offense. The one guy we got back is our tailback, who was an all-region player. But it's not as bad as it seems. We got our quarterback has played some and really been waiting to kind of take over. We got a young quarterback that's working hard, and all of our guys have some experience, at least up front. Our skill guys, we need some guys to step up, and some young guys are doing that, and some of our older guys are stepping up. So we're working to get there. Defensively, we're not bad. We haven't lost a lot. Our secondary, but we had guys that are coming back. They've done a great job. So I think we're going to be all right.
How does your job change as a coach going from going to a younger team like that? How does your job change?
And it's funny. We got to kind of not say play it by ear, but we got to work with these guys. And one of the things we really want to emphasize this year is pace. And it took us a little while, a week or so, to get these guys to understand what the pace is on the varsity level. And you kind of have to take a step back, and we're starting to see it kind of come together. But we certainly, I tell you, what helped us a lot this year, more so than the past, is with the young guys, is we got a weekend in June and a weekend in July. So we had the basic, kind of our core offense in. It was the things like the pace. And then we get the pads on, being physical, and what it's like going against bigger guys. We might have to kind of teach a little bit more. And I think our coaches have done a good job of doing that.
What is your off-season program like here?
Well, we want our guys to participate in other sports. We want them to be competitors and compete for Annandale High School. We really try to steer our guys into winter track or basketball if they can make the team, or wrestling for our bigger guys. Spring track is kind of our thing. I help out the spring track team. Our other football coaches, help out the spring track team. We try to get a 7-on-7 thing going, which we did last year, which was really good. I think I talked to you about. We did about 4 weeks of that. And then we'll have a week in June and a week in July. Anybody that for whatever reason is not in a spring sport, come mid-January, we start opening up the weight room and have them working out with guys in there. But the big thing is we want our guys to compete. We want competitors, athletes that are competitors. I want them to have well-rounded athletes, been coached by other coaches, understand how to compete on the mat, in the gym or on the track. Guys to compete and compete for Annandale High School. That's what we want. And those are the best football players. Always have been for us. Always have been for 50 or 61 years.
That's awesome. I've talked to a lot of coaches, and they all say the same thing. They say they want guys who play multiple sports. But there's such an emphasis of it seems like going on across the country where guys are focusing on one sport.
It is, and I tell you, a lot of guys do it. And I know that when they started the Green Days thing, I guess it was 4 years ago, we tried to do it really, and you felt like you kind of keep up with the Joneses. I'm telling my quarterback to play baseball, but I want him to come out and throw for Green Days. And it doesn't work. We will have a Green Day here or there when it doesn't conflict with the other sports, but we really push it. The big thing that I've found out, I learned from Coach Adams, who was here, the head coach before me, and I coached with for 14 years, I got to be involved. I got to be part of the track program. I've been the weight room track guy, I've been the JV sprint and track coach, I've been the varsity sprint and track coach. And I make my other coaches work in other sports. I got baseball coaches on staff. I've got other track coaches on staff. Wrestling coaches on staff. That brings our guys, our lacrosse coach on staff. So we are seeing these guys and coaching these guys throughout the year. And I know everybody says that, but not many people, and it's hard because there's the peanut shootout, there's the crab shootout, there's this, and this. And it's a focus on the one sport, and I think it's lousy. I think it's lousy for our athletes. They get to be in high school one time. Most of them probably aren't going to go on to play college. And the ones that do aren't going to get to play more than one sport. You talk to Jalen Jackson. He's one of our better sprinters. Two of our better sprinters also on the football team. Our best wrestlers have been on the football team. It's a real point of emphasis for us. And it's best for the kid. I believe it's best for the kids, and it's best for the program. All the programs.
Good. Well, what is the off-season like for you? How much off-season do you get as a coach?
Not much. It's not much. We get done, hopefully we'll go till December this year. Last year we got done in the middle of November. By the time you kind of clean everything up and get done, it's December. By January we're starting back up again. And again, it's long. It's a long grind, and then we get on to our 7-on-7 stuff. We start in April or May. I'm working with a track team, and then we get into our June green days, which is really a week of practice, a week of incorporating these younger guys. What it is we expect. July, it's more of a true team camp where it's okay. Now we're going, and it helps in August, but. There isn't a day that goes by I don't think about our football program, and that's the truth. There's not a day that goes by I don't think about either what's going on or how we can get better. And my coaches are into it. Yeah. So there isn't a lot of downtime.
I didn't think so.
No.
Well, you brought it up earlier, just the tradition at Annandale.
Yeah.
How important is that for you as a coach? And I mean, you all have a long and storied tradition here. How important
it's huge.
is that?
It's huge. I talk to our guys all the time about it. I got guys emailing me. I got a guy that I think graduated 65, came up about 3 years ago to see the field because when he was here there wasn't lights in the field, and he emails me most Saturday mornings to tell me good job, or and there's people like that over the country. The guys that help raise money for our meals. Reuben Weaver graduated in 79, or 80, I'm sorry. He was on the 78 state team, starting center. It's huge. I feel an obligation to them, and I hope our guys understand that. We had our Who's Day up here, which is our first day in full gear. We probably had 40 alumni from back in the 70s to the 80s to the 90s to the last couple of years up here hooting and hollering and wanting to see these guys hit. And it was we started at 6 o'clock. At 6:15 they were all here, and we feel a definite it's for them. There's a proud tradition. I think there's no tradition like ours. And I know a lot of people might say that, but I think it's the truth. We're red and we're white. We're not wearing black socks. We're not wearing black stripes on our thing. We're not going to get a gray helmet. That's what we do. We put a different sticker for the playoffs last year, but that was one of our original stickers. Okay. It was a throwback sticker, and we put a lightning bolt on the helmet. I think it's a big part of what we do.
Well, you made the playoffs. I'm sorry. You made the playoffs last year. What are your goals for the team coming in this year?
Our goal is really simple. We won't talk about it much after this week. Is find a way to make the playoffs and then go from there. Okay. Scrap, fight, find a way to get into the playoffs. And once we get there, then we go for the next step, and that would be to win a game, and continue on. But we want to fight and find a way to get into the playoffs because it's a tournament. It's a knockout tournament, and anybody can win it. And we were the 16th seed last year, and we had the number 1 seed on the ropes. And they were a great team, and they beat us, no doubt about it. But we were right there with them, for most of that game. And that's what we want to be. We want to be in position to win a playoff game, and then we'll go from there. But that's what it is. It's scrape, fight, get into the playoffs. That's our goal right now, and I won't talk about it much with them after this week. We all know it, we all understand it, and we go from there.
Excellent. Well, you can find him in red and white on Friday nights. Coach Mike Scott at Annandale Adams. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Rob.